Hi, I'm Ali, and welcome back to my podcast. I would first like to thank you guys for the massive support on starting this channel and on my previous podcast episode. Thank you so much for your support. Today's issue that we're going to talk about was suggested by one of you guys, which is unrealistic expectations and standards. This particular topic is super interesting and has so many elements to it, so let's get started. I have been through so many phases of depression due to social media. I used to be self-conscious about my physique, and social media has made my problem even worse. Now, there are so many expectations and standards that are circulating around our society, but are we going to talk about our standards and expectations, or how society created expectations and standards towards our life aspects? I'll be talking about how societies around the world created many standards that are unattainable, and how they expect so many things from us. I'll also be talking about why we shouldn't compare ourselves to other individuals, and the negative mental state we could be in post to comparing ourselves to one another. Let's start off by defining what expectations and standards mean. Expectations are a strong belief that something will happen or be the case, and standards means something used as a measure, norm, or model in comparative evaluations. First of all, my experience towards comparing myself began from being on Instagram. I was self-conscious and unhappy with the form I had. And being on social media and seeing all these people who I admired to be as made me feel even worse about my condition. I would feel as if I'm not good enough or simply just worthless. I believed that to get to that standard was impossible. I really hated the state that I was in because it was holding me back from doing so many normal things. Going to the beach, going out, it just made me feel uncomfortable. But I did after all manage to lose all that weight. I lost around 14 kg and ever since then I became super confident about my appearance. However, I hated that I was following a certain standard, and I just don't think I needed to lose weight in order to do the things that I wanted to do. Regardless of what I did, it made me get to where I am now. Comparing yourself could be haunting, or it could be your motivation. It's how you really think about it. There are a handful of standards that are going on in different communities around the world, and I'll be talking about how each society has a beauty standard that is contradictory to their own natural state. The idea of beauty differs from each point of view. In the US, since they have mostly fair skin complexion, the ideal standard beauty is tan.
You get a quick tan with QT, a double tan, you see, it tans you anytime, rain or shine when you use QT.
Clear skin, slim thick, muscular for men. However, in India and generally Asia, the desired standard of beauty is white, fair, and completely the opposite of what they look like. These beauty standards were created by company owners who want you to buy their product. It's a business strategy. Think about it like this. A company that sells whitening cream is obviously targeting people who have dark skin. And in order to convince the buyer that they should change their skin tone is by changing the norm and creating this ideology that dark-skinned people are ugly. Therefore, they run a bunch of ads and campaigns in which they show how one customer's happiness has escalated through using their product. Not only that, but these advertisements are paying celebrities to promote their products and to glamorize the after-all result, which is being white. They indicate that being white will give you job opportunities and a happy marriage along with wealth and a bunch of other nonsense. However, they managed to make this nonsense a reality. And now, the Indian society is judging everybody by their looks. And this judgment is also affecting the hiring markets. If there are two applicants to a job and one of them has a lighter skin than the other, the person with the lighter skin will be offered the position, while the other applicant will be dismissed.
उन लोगों ने वो पूरा मेरा डॉक्यूमेंट सब कुछ अच्छे थे, बट बिकॉज ऑफ लुक उन लोगों ने मुझे रिजेक्ट कर दिया कि फेयरनेस होगा तो मेरे को कोई बेटर अच्छा जॉब.
One of my teacher bullied me when I was in class 3rd or 4th. I was just a child. I don't know that I have a dark tone and all.
That's the issue which is created by those companies. Not only do they take your money, They create a judgmental atmosphere which they manipulate people's minds into thinking light-skinned people are better. They also have white people or people with light skin complexion the face of many fashion industries, magazines, companies, and many more, all for the sake of glamorizing the white race and their products. Trust me when I say this, if there was a nation where everybody is tall, the beauty standard would be being short, and they would start selling pills that make you go shorter or something like that. Although our time is accepting more body shapes and sizes by fashion industries giving platforms for plus-size models and introducing them to the public, we still have people comparing themselves to other people. I really do believe this is a natural feeling. No matter what we do, there will still be companies that sell waist trainers, beauty pills, or even tea. And people do fall for that. I used to too. There's nothing wrong with losing weight, it's just the intentions behind losing that weight. Health purposes are understandable, but doing it for the sake of community acceptance or fitting in or looking good are unacceptable. There are also abnormal beauty standards, such as foot binding in China, neck rings, tomoko, lip plates, and many more. So there isn't a set or a constant beauty standard. It's always changing. So are you going to be a slave to these standards or have your own standard of beauty? We should all be grateful that we have a functioning body. Many people wish to have what we have. Even if we wanted to change our appearance, we should appreciate the fact that we actually have one. Let's move on to a different type of standard, the standard of life. I want to talk more about if we are putting ourselves in those expectations, or are these expectations expected from us as community members? That is the true question we should be asking ourselves. Both of them are bad, but being forced to be in a certain expectation or standard is worse. That's the problem with our community, is that they expect so many things from us. We are expected to have a wealthy life, go to college, have excellent grades, have a family, and many more expectations. The reason why this type of expectation is harsh is that if we don't fit into these expectations, many of our families could be ashamed of our being. We could be looked down upon by many people. It could also lead to disowning in many cases. Those standards were created by our society, and honestly, it's not meant for everyone. Our standard nowadays is go to school, go to college, get a job, have a family, but not everybody can fit those standards. Many people have learning difficulties or simply don't want to go to school. Those type of people are sadly not given a second option to succeed the normal way, which is through school. According to our society, it has made education the way of success. So these people who can't fit the standard end up being depressed and discouraged. I'd like to say that never make decisions or be in a standard in order to satisfy someone or a community you live in. Satisfy yourself and live for yourself, not for others. You'll never fully satisfy someone. Comparing yourself to others is one of the most humiliating things you can do to yourself. It's basically saying that you're not good enough or that other people are better than you. Constantly checking to see other people's lives distracts you from focusing on yourself and your goals. Stop comparing yourself to others because others are also comparing themselves to other people, and those people are also comparing themselves to other people. It's just a whole circle of comparison that is just super toxic. Assuming someone's happiness based upon their Instagram profile is significantly unrealistic. Even my Instagram profile doesn't represent the actual state that I'm in. I currently have 11,000 pictures on my camera roll, yet I posted only 10 on my Insta profile. These are just some highlights, and everybody has highlights of their lives. So therefore, it's not a rational standard to compare yourself to, because no one is living in a highlight. We always want to be seen happy and healthy, so that's what we post. Our true vulnerable moments are kept for ourselves. Finally, I'd like to say that no one is truly happy, and we shouldn't compare ourselves based upon other people's success, body image, lifestyle, or any way, shape, or form. I really hope you guys learned something new from today's episode. Do not pressure yourself to look a certain way in order to please others. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next episode. Bye!